Hi, it's me again. I'm just here I want to re-explain how all your electricity you really using is actually go right back to the main station. Especially your 120s, 100%. You're paying for that much, and you're sending that much, the exact same amount, right back into the line for them to sell you again. Now, how they do that? It was pretty smart. In the older days, or the earlier days of electricity, the earth was ground. It was a resistance, not a draw, but a resistance. Now, I've been testing all around in the field, and I cannot find any more resistance into the earth. So what they did, it was pretty smart. What they did, they create a vacuum, an electrostatic vacuum into the return line. And in every third pole you will see a ground line hook up to the lower wire, which is the ground. It's supposed to call the ground all the way down to the earth, and those are called collector rods. So what's is very simple. It works like, here's the main station is like a wet vac, and you're using the ground as we'll use a sponge, right? So if you pour water a little bit and the sponge get wet in the bottom, but if you put a wet vac on the top of the sponge, if you start pulling, that's mean, create a vacuum into that sponge, and all the water of that sponge will find its way into the mouth of the wet vac. Well, the ground line or the return line is exactly how they do. They have this vacuum over there, which is very simple to work with, to create a fake demand on the end of a line, is using a normal electric motor, and you can use half of the armature as a fake demand, and you spin that motor with the other half of the motor, which it makes the demand. So we can have a vacuum and an electric line, and I can prove that over and over. So now I'm going to show you, my line here, pole, that's just for on the ground. It says I'm already pulling 3.58 amp going through right back to the pole, right? So I'm going to go in, give me a second, I'm going to turn on my water kettle. You will see an increase. I'm going to zoom on that so you can see what I'm pulling right now. So I think we can't zoom. So I'm going to bring you right close so you can see. There we go. Now I see it. 3.5, 3.7. Now I'm going to put you down for a second, and I'm going to turn some appliance on. Now again, I'm back. I'm going to bring you closer so you can see. See, I turned my water kettle on. Now it says I have 14.4 amp drawn in that wire. That's amp, not volts, amperage. This meter is reading amperage going right back into your power pole, but no one is paying you for it. So, I mean, it's kind of hilarious. Like, if you're paying for something and you're using the amount of kilowatt they say you use, why the hell your kilowatt is going back to the line if you already pay for it? There shouldn't be no draw here. It should be a resistance. Now, for everybody from BC Hydro and any other hydro company who want to take me on the front of a camera to answer my question, I'm really open for that. Matter of fact, I challenge anybody. They can bring their electric engineer or high power engineer and try to put me to sleep with their words no one understand. I do understand, and I can do all the translation for you. It's not Chinese. They talking jargon, gibberish. I know how to translate that on the real fact and real words people will understand. This should not be a vacuum line, because that's what it's called. And even some people from BC Hydro, who drink a little bit too much, even say that, then they get minimum 80% of the people's hydro right back to sell right back to them. And all they have to do to this current to sell it back is ship it back to the top of the line, almost in the exact same form, and then put a hurt in it. That's the only thing they're losing is the hurt. But current and the amperage is there. The heat is there. All you got to do is put a hurt back into it to increase the signal of the hurt and push it right back to the top line, and then your transformer does all the work after that. That $1,000 can there you can purchase yourself, right? Does all the transformation from 120, you put them together, 240. That's how 240 works. And then again, now they get the smart meter. The smart meter is something very interesting. In the old day, when you had the regular meter, he was only charging you for one line, the highest draw line. That's what he was charging you for. And we didn't have that. So that's why everybody, when they get a smart meter, got double the cost by charging you for each line. But the transformer does that, not the pole. Your transformer does that. You shouldn't be paying two lines because you're paying for single. Look at your bill. You're paying for single phase electricity. If you're paying for single phase electricity, they can only charge you for one wire. The wire who comes in the transformer from the upper line. Now anything else, it's robbery. So now they charge you for two lines, and then they suck up all your 120 you use right back to the factory. So if that's not theft, then we don't have any thief anymore. We call them businessmen with a suit, corporation. You know, that's the kind of business. Well, you know, that's a hell of a business. Selling the same item 1,000,000 times over to the same person, over and over. So there it is. The instrument don't lie. It's there, and if anybody want to do the test, I did test many places. They all test the same way. We don't have a ground. So if you have any question, go on my site, ask the question, and I will answer it as the best as I can with the proper language, not gibberish, so people can understand. They get ripped off. So therefore, folks, that's my other video, and I hope you enjoyed seeing it. Catch you later.